religious fanatic group that formed in response to the bug.
Ellipsis.
To be a very strange and surreal film that I thought was quite effective in maintaining a sense of tone and creating a sense of scale within a piece that was often quite grounded and insular. I thought it had a good range of emotions captured by the lead performer. I thought she was really great at sort of playing a mute at some points and other points, sort of reflecting a level of self-awareness that was sort of surprising within the construct of the piece. And I thought the narrative as it went on was sort of setting up what appeared to be a much bigger idea, and I thought it functioned sort of as like an extended trailer or opener for what would be a bigger idea. And I thought that the style and approach was quite consistent, and it was sort of a sinister and disorienting or rather a discomforting feel that I thought was actually quite effective throughout the piece, and I thought worked well in giving it a sense of style and its own sort of identity.
I think visually it was so appealing to watch. The cinematography was beautiful. The lighting, I feel like, helped the ambiance of kind of that dystopian sci-fi energy. I thought that was really, really great. Her kind of having to figure out what's happening to herself and like knowing her situation but not fully knowing the extent of it and who to trust was a big factor in the film that I truly really liked. The overall arching theme of basically these robots that are so human that they're basically human but not treated as human. I think that's something that's even a conversation for today and how we will interact with like AI in the future and whatnot. And also this whole argument of like they're made to be human and look human, so do they have human rights? Even though they are robots, they're programmed to have like human feelings, emotions, motivations, all of that. So there's a slippery slope in what people believe will be acceptable once AI becomes self-sufficient and functioning as humans are. And I think this was a film that kind of showcased that, and I really, really, truly liked that.
The similarities between this piece, the world that was created here and the world that, was the reality for us during the pandemic, there are definitely some similarities as far as the division and the fear of this unknown bug, and the lack of understanding about it. So I thought that was interesting to see that juxtaposition. But then also you see with the ellipses, it goes rogue. And I think that also can be related to a lot that we discuss nowadays in terms of AI and people's concern about its abilities and giving it too much power and things like that. And so I just thought that this piece was very interesting, how it touches on a lot of the things that we deal with today.
It was a very tense sci-fi drama. It kind of reminded me of the concept of Detroit Become Human in the whole process of these androids becoming sentient. There's a lot of ambiguity and mystery throughout this as we follow this lone android, and we can kind of see and the reason I bring up Detroit Become Human is because we see that parallel between, honestly, both fears of artificial intelligence, which is very modern, with how everything has exploded as of late when it comes to AI, but also you can use that and kind of attribute it towards race as well, where these robots are seen as less than human, they're seen as lesser people, more tools or objects to be used. And it creates very uncomfortable scenarios where we see our protagonist constantly essentially being toyed around with. Every time they meet someone new, they're essentially being ragdolled around.
I liked the cast. I think the casting was very good in this. The actors were good and fit their roles really well. The main actress, who was the non-human, I thought was really believable. So that was really great. Just her expressions and the way she moved her body and all of that. I wrote down Humanics, the Cure or the Disease. I could actually see this as a series or limited series. It was intriguing and I wanted to see more about this scenario and how it came to be and, you know, where it's going to go, where it's headed. So I would love to see this as a series. Actually, I could see this definitely being streaming and competitive with what else is out there right now. I thought it was really interesting and I actually felt for these non-human humanoids.
Ellipsis. I thought this was really, really interesting, and I think that especially as technology continues to advance and we continue to kind of move towards this kind of robot future, hopefully, or maybe, you know, that's still, you know, way far off, but we continue to move in that direction with technology, and this idea of humanity and what kind of humanity means and what I don't want to say like humanity applies to, but I can't think of a better way to phrase that, of, you know, in these kind of futuristic ideas where there are robots, there are, you know, these kind of very realistic but created beings through manufacturing or, you know, whatnot. Where does humanity get applied in that situation? And does humanity exist in those kind of situations? And really, where does humanity exist? Does it exist with, you know, the humans that are interacting with them? Should it exist? You know, that's another idea kind of intertwined with this. And I think that especially as, like I said, society kind of moves towards this, it's an interesting idea, it's an interesting concept,